I think that's working. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's working. And it's working, I think. So, welcome. I'm just gonna wait for a few moments. And yeah, it's strange to be here in my living room practicing with you because I think one of the things I love about teaching is creating this space with other people, and also that you are sharing your energy. So yeah, so welcome, and we'll see how this goes. My intention is really just to share yoga and continue to do practice together, and yeah, that's it. So I hope you're well, and in these strange times, wherever you are, and you're ready to move again. So I expect the session will be about an hour, maybe a bit longer. So we'll start. And we might have a few more people joining us. So what I want us to start with is really Supta Baddha Konasana. And this is where you're lying on the floor on your back. And I would say have some cushions ready. If you have your yoga blocks and belts and everything else, have that ready as well. But for the moment, have some cushions. And what we will start with is having the soles of the feet together, the knees apart, and have the cushions or your yoga blocks underneath your thighs. Rest your hands on your lower belly. And we'll just start here. So you're just resting in Supta Baddha Konasana, allowing the soles of the feet to meet, the knees to release away from each other, and take a moment here to breathe. So while you're here, I'll just check because I can see messages, but I can't actually read them from here. But I'm just gonna say hello, wave, wave, wave. Whoops, and then I change things around. That's my part. There we go. And there we are. Oh, lovely. So I'm trying to do this, and I don't know whether Instagram or Facebook works the best, so that's why I'm kind of looking in two directions. And I know some of you are neither, so hopefully I can upload it. But really nice to see you and familiar faces and people I haven't been practicing with for years because we're moving in different ways. But I'm back in the yoga space. So for now, just stay in your Supta Baddha Konasana, arriving on the mat. So having the soles of the feet together, the knees apart, and simply resting and breathing. And so what I felt personally is that it's just been this space of I haven't done anything. I haven't been able to teach. I haven't been able to do massage. So it's been a very internal place that I've been in, which has been really wonderful as well, because we need that hibernation. And that tied in with my monthly cycle. So that has worked really well, actually. So now that I'm beginning this follicular phase again, and I had my hibernation, I'm feeling ready to open up. And that's why I decided maybe I could teach again and teach in this medium. And so hopefully while you're resting here and you're just opening, we are together opening to this new way of being for the moment. New opportunities and new ways of doing things. And also start to release any of that anxiety or fear or stress that you may have. And sometimes we just need to sigh up. So you can take that deep breath in and out. We'll stay here for a few more breaths. So when we stay in one pose for a while, it is as if we can start to release layers of holding on or gripping. And this is what we are allowing ourselves to let go of. So in a moment we'll bring the knees together again. So you can hold to the outside of your thighs and then slowly bring the knees together. And if you have your blocks or your cushions, you can take them to the side. But we'll just stay for a few moments with the feet flat on the floor, the knees towards the ceiling. And then start to feel solidity through the feet. So really feel the soles of the feet grounding you. The thigh bones resting into the hip sockets. So you feel solid and stable and grounded. And then it is as if the spine can just relax into its natural position. So in a moment we'll start to move with the breath again. We'll come into bridge pose, but we'll do that in a slowly dynamic, fluid movement. So you have the arms by the side near your feet. And as we inhale, we can lift the tailbone and the sacrum, lifting through the lumbar spine, up through the thoracic. So just a small back bend, it doesn't need to be big. And then roll the spine back down, vertebra by vertebra on the exhale. And we can even move the arms along. So as we inhale, we lift the pelvis, the spine into the front body. The arms can come all the way behind your head. And then as you exhale, you slowly release it back down again. And you can take as long as you like. So if you feel you want to take an extra breath anywhere, you just take an extra breath. We haven't warmed up. This is our warm-up. So you just do this very nice, at ease, and with your breath. Slowing down movement and slowing down with the breath. And we'll just do one more like that. And after that, you just keep the spine on the floor, knees to the ceiling. Bring the knees into the chest. Roll onto one side. And then come all the way up to a comfortable seat. So just take a moment maybe to close the eyes or have that inner awareness. Hands together in a prayer at your heart center. And so for me this prayer is really to be grounded and connected to my roots, to the earth, to my truth. And yet staying open and light for seeing opportunities or finding ways to be grateful in the current circumstances. Seeing the gifts of being rather than doing. And allowing Mother Nature to heal. And so I usually start with an Om, so we can Om together. You just breathe in and exhale through the mouth. So let's breathe in together. we will start moving. So as we start to move, I am expecting a delivery any minute. So if the doorbell goes, the husband is going to open, but just in case you suddenly hear that sound. So let's go ahead and come on to the hands and knees. Good. So once we're on our hands and knees, the hands are underneath the shoulders. We're spreading the fingers out really wide. So you can press with the knuckles, even the pads of the fingertips. It's like you can drag the finger pads towards you, so you feel that you're connected to the earth. And then we'll start to just find a neutral spine. So you're not collapsing down, you're not rounding the back. We'll just see if we can find a neutral position. So we lift up into the shoulder blades. There's a sense of the front ribs hugging slightly in, and there's just stability in the body. So from here we can straighten out the right leg, tuck the toes under and press into the ball of the foot. If you notice that you are shifting back, you keep your shoulders over the heels of the hands, but really press into the ball of the right foot. And then bring the knee back down and then extend the other leg behind you. And same thing, really press into the foot without drawing back. So you press into the foot almost like you're shifting forward, but you keep the shoulders over the heels of the hands. Bring the knees down and then come into a child's pose. So we'll take the knees wide apart, sit to the heels, arms out in front, maybe the chest or the hip to the floor. Or alternatively, you can have your block underneath your head. And so if you usually come to my classes, I always offer variations. You can come into child's pose at any time. So this is an option at any time. If we're in downward dog, any other time, you're very welcome to join us in a child's pose. And then when you're ready, come all the way back to the hands and knees. Find that position again, shoulders from the crown of the head to the tailbone. There's that line. It's not straight, it's curved, but it's stable and supported. Extend your left leg behind you. Keep pressing into that foot. Straighten out the right leg as well, so you're in plank pose. So you lift up into the shoulder blades. The energy is really moving from between the heels to the tailbone for the crown of the head, and you have solidity and strength and power. So really feel that support in your body. Take a deep breath in and deep breath out. Deep breath in and out. Downward facing dog. So lift the hips high. You're going to walk on the spot, bringing one heel down and the other heel, lengthening through the spine. And really feel the support of the earth, of the muscles hugging into your skeletal system. And yet there's fluidity. Inhale into a plank pose, shoulders over the heels of the hands. Now you're welcome to have the knees on the floor. Slowly lower all the way down to the earth. Inhale, keep the belly on the floor, just lift your heart, cobra pose, shoulders are drawing back. And then downward facing dog. So let's do that again. Inhale into a plank pose. Exhale, either lower halfway down Chaturanga Dandasana or all the way. Inhale, cobra pose, or if you choose upward dog, extend through your arms, lift out of the shoulders, heart extending forward, and press into the top of your feet. Downward facing dog again. Really nice. So one more time like this. Inhale into a plank pose. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift to your back bend, cobra upward dog. Downward facing dog. Perfect. So from here, let's walk the feet to the hands, standing forward then. And the feet can be hip distance or together, whichever way feels good. Let the head relax, the neck, the jaw and the tongue. Inhale, come into a half forward bend, so the hands could be on the floor or on your blocks or on your shins. Exhale, fold it all the way. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, hands to the hips. And then with a straight back, you can rise all the way to standing. Bring one hand to the lower belly, one hand to your heart. Shoulders relax. And so again, just noticing your breath. Feeling the openness, the expansiveness of the inhale, and that connection and groundedness of the exhale. So we'll flow again. Bring your palms together. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, draw it all the way down through the center line. Inhale, lengthening through the spine, and then fold it deeply. We'll step the right leg back. Take the left leg back. You're back in your plank pose. Lower down. Inhale, lift to a back bend. So we'll stay here. Just feel that openness and lightness with the heart. Press with the toenails. And downward facing dog. Beautiful. And so from here, let's extend the right leg behind us. And just keep it stable so you're not opening up into the hip, but the toes will be pointing down. And then down the dog again. And we'll extend the left leg behind us. Again, keeping the hips square for the moment. And then step that left foot between the hands. Back foot is flat. We'll come into warrior one pose in a moment. So let's just stay here. Keeping your left toes pointing forward, right toes are pointing slightly towards the front right corner of the mat. Inhale, warrior one pose, arms towards the sky. And so we can find that stability really grounded through the feet. We can feel the slight lift with the pubic bone and the pelvic floor. The chest bone can lift. But we also want that openness and lightness because most of us need to open up. Or I need to open up. So let's feel that openness and lightness. Bring the hands to the floor. Step into a plank pose. Bring the knees to the floor. We'll straighten out the right leg. This time the heel comes to the floor, to the center line. Left foot out to the side. And then right arm towards the front of the mat. So this is a variation of side plank. But I like this variation because you can really find that openness into your right side. But any time we do side plank, this could be a variation. Come back to the hands and knees. And then the other side. So straightening out the left leg, right foot to the side, left arm all the way beyond your head. But even if this is a variation, keep it active. Press that left foot into the ground. Extend through the left fingertips. Heart towards the sky. Come back to the hands and knees. Downward facing dog. Inhale into a plank pose. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to a back bend. And downward facing dog. So let's stretch that left leg behind us. Toes pointing down. Downward facing dog again. Right leg extends. Step the right foot all the way between the feet. Left toe slightly out. Press the feet down. So even before we come up, your legs are grounded, you're connected, and you're stable. Inhale into your warrior one pose. And so because this intention is to open up, to find space, to embrace whatever we're meeting in our life, feel the openness to the front of your left leg, so the back leg. So if you start to collapse into the lower back, you're losing it. So grounding down through the tailbone, lift the pubic bone. So the movement here is really in the pelvis. So it is as if your hip points could lift. And then we start to embrace the openness to your left hip, the back leg. And it is in that space that we hold that tension. It's a natural tension when we get the anxious, stress, if we have to run away from something, that fight or flight system. That's those muscles, the hip flexors, the psoas. Bring the hands to the earth. Downward facing dog again. And so this time come forward to your plank pose. We'll come into side plank this time. So we can drop both heels to the left side. Extend the right arm beyond the head. And again, let's enjoy that almost like a banana shape, lifting the ribs towards the ceiling, heart towards the sky, and extend through the feet and through your right fingertips. We'll come back into the full plank, and then the other side. Come back to your plank pose and slowly lower down. Inhale to your back bend. Downward facing dog. This time step your feet mat distance apart and walk your hands to your feet. Standing forward bend. You can bend the knees here. You can grab hold of the opposite elbow, so right hand to left, left hand to right. Let the neck relax. You can stay here, you could sway from side to side. Release the hands to the floor. And then bring the forearms to the thighs. Bend the knees, so almost like a chair pose. Feel the thigh bone or the thighs, the front of the thighs, the quadriceps lifting to the pelvis. Extend the heart forward. Wonderful. And then if you have knee issues or pelvic issues, you might want to stay here. Otherwise, you can come into a full squat, turning the toes slightly out, having the feet wide apart, and come into Malasana. You can have your cushions underneath your heels if that gives a bit more support. And so in Malasana, or if Malasana doesn't work, you can sit on the floor on a block with your feet out in front. So whichever variation works for you. We'll bring the left fingertips to the floor. So your left forearm is to the inside of the left leg. Extend your right arm to the ceiling. You're in a spinal twist, but it's open. Bring the palms together in front of your heart again. Lift through the chest. So the thing with Malasana, if it's an easy shape in your body, it's very easy to get heavy, drag down, that Apana Vayu, the downward force of energy, and become too heavy. So we need the balance. So if this is you, press the feet to the floor. Feel that lift with the soles of the feet, so that Pada Bandha and the Mula Bandha, the lift with the pelvic floor. So there's a lightness in the pose. And keeping that lift, bring your right fingertips to the floor, left arm towards the behind you. And really embrace that openness again. And bring the palms together in front of your heart. Lift with the chest. Feel that prana vayu, that the in-breath, that expansive and gives us energy, oxygen, prana, so that lightness we fill up with the breath. And then connection to the earth. Press the feet to the ground. Rise all the way to standing. Turn the toes forward again. And then Hasta Mudra, so the palms facing to the sky. Shoulders are relaxing from the ears. Hasta Mudra, so Hasta the hands, receiving. So we're standing here with open arms and we are receiving whatever may come to us. So allowing ourselves to receive nourishment, nurturing, whatever is that we need. Let's turn the arms all the way out to the side and all the way onto the lower back or to the sacrum. Fingers up or down. Root down for the pelvis, lift for the heart. Coming into a bit of a back bend, again opening the heart to the sky. And then slowly rising up, leading with the heart. You can massage your lower back, your sitting bones, down the back of the legs, the back of the knees. I feel we could stay here for a while because, you know, at the moment we might not have a lot of physical contact with anyone. Even that physical contact might just be a hug or a handshake. So giving ourselves physical touch. Physical touch is incredibly important. So even if it's just our own touch that is offered with love and care. Again, just taking that energy all the way down through the feet. Inhale to a half forward bend, extend for the heart and fold it. Let's walk the hands forward into a downward facing dog again. And then really feel the heels grounding you. They don't need to touch the floor at all, but there's a sense of grounding down, yet the sitting bones are rising. Inhale, come forward into your plank pose. And this time we come all the way down to the floor. Come into Sphinx pose, so the toes point back and you're on your forearms. So just being on the forearms, pressing through your forearms, your heart extends forward, shoulders back. And so I love this pose. I think it's such a nice way to feel our bodies. So for me, I know I need to lengthen into the lower back so I can focus on drawing the tailbone down, as if the tailbone could move to the pubic bone. And that will start to engage the pelvic floor just a little bit, so it's almost like an activation of the Mula Bandha. And we start to feel that openness to the front of the thighs, so I can activate my legs as well. And then I support the lower back, and then you can really focus on lifting out of the shoulder blades, extend your heart forward. So we'll stay here for a while. If this is uncomfortable in your back, really know whether you're collapsing or whether you can use your core strength. Otherwise, you just come down again. If this is easy in your body, then keep that tailbone down. Bend your right leg behind you. You can grab hold of the foot and start to move the heel towards your buttock. That might just look like this. It might be that the foot can come closer down. But you want to notice if that hip lifts up, and if it does, then you release a bit again for the foot. So let's lift through both shoulders. And then release that right leg down. Find balance again. And then the other leg. Again, maybe this is where you're going to be. Maybe you hold the foot or your trousers. Maybe you can release the heel towards your buttock. And if you're super flexible, then really focus on that tailbone to pubic bone. So you have the support. So you start to feel that nice openness to the front of that left thigh or the left hip flexor. And slowly let it go. And then just take a moment, release the hips. You can come into a prayer on the floor, prostration pose, which I love from Shiva Ray, that prostration between the poses. So really surrendering. So my head is up, but you can obviously have the head on the ground. That sense of offering it all. Prostrations, I think, is something all spiritual or religious cultures have had just offering it to the earth, to the divine. And then as you're ready, slide your hands next to the chest. Cobra pose or upward dog, downward dog or child's pose. You can stay in your downward dog or child's pose, or you can choose to flow again. So this connecting vinyasa. So if you choose to flow, come forward into your plank pose. Exhale to lower down. Again, the inhale rising up through your heart and downward facing dog. So everyone, let's meet in our downward facing dog. And from our downward dog, we'll extend the left leg behind us. This time open the hip up if you choose to, but keep a bit of stability and length in your right waist. Square the hips again. Step the left foot between the hands, back foot flat. Your choice again, you can have much wider steps, so if you need more support in the pelvis, we'll come into warrior one again. Have a wider step or shorter step. You can even have the right heel off the floor. Inhale, warrior one pose. But this time, now the left leg is forward. We'll bend the right elbow, so right elbow to the sky. Left arm comes all the way around. So Gomukhasana arms. You can hold on to your fingertips if that's easy. You can hold on to your top. If you have a belt or a pair of socks or anything else, you just create more space and you hold on to that. And so think of that nice support we had through the pelvis, our roots, in our Sphinx pose variations. So instead of just dropping the ribs out, collapsing in the lower back, feel that little lift, and then lift your heart to the sky. You could even rest your head into your right arm. Straighten the legs. Turn your toes to the long side of the mat. We'll keep the arm variation. So now the outer edges of the feet are parallel. We'll lift with the chest again, extend through the heart, and then you're in your forward bend. So if the Gomukhasana variation where you hold on to your fingertips is too much, again you can hold on to your top, you can hold on to a pair of socks, whatever you can reach. Release the hands to the floor. Come halfway up, so half forward bend with your feet wide apart. Bring your fingertips underneath your heart so you have that straight back. So if you find it difficult to find the floor, you can use a block, you can bend your knees as well, that's absolutely fine. So whatever variation you're in, be on your fingertips, thumbs underneath the sternum, underneath your spiritual heart, energetic heart. We come into spinal twist again. So press your thigh bones back, heart forward. Find space, extend, and really feel that lift with the heart. Take your right hand to your sacrum, so the flat bone towards the end of the spine. Lift the right shoulder. Again, you can stay here, or you can extend the arm to the sky. Doesn't feel like a big twist, but it's more in the thoracic, so around the rib cage. Bring the hand back down again.
Lengthen through the spine, so just find that extension. Left hand to the sacrum, again you can lift with the heart. You're very welcome to just stay here, and you can choose to extend the left arm to the sky. Perfect. Bring the hands back down again, and then hands to the hips, and slowly rise up. So let's just turn to the back of the mat. So right toes forward, left leg back. We'll come into warrior one pose again. So find the stability again. Feel the right foot is now forward, so opposite from what you just did. Feel that you can ground onto the feet for the tailbone, the pubic bone lifts, arms to the sky. And then we did the Gurukasana arms on the other side. So this time the left arm bends. You can just hold on to your left elbow with your right hand and feel that lift to the back of your heart. Or you take the right arm behind you, holding onto your top, or to your fingertips. Straighten the legs. Turn the toes to the long side of the mat again. The edges of the feet are parallel. We'll come into the forward bend. So extending through the heart and fold it forward. And this time just release your hands to the floor, fingertips to the ground, or onto your legs, so wherever it's comfortable. And we'll find a bit of fluidity. So you can bend one knee as the other leg straightens. And then the other side. You could have your hands or your forearms on your thighs to give more space. So just enjoying a bit of fluidity and openness through the legs that are connecting you to the earth, to ground you, to support you, to stabilize you, your roots. Let's bend that left knee. Turn the toes to the front of the mat. Downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Deep inhale. And long exhale. One more time. Inhale into your plank pose. Exhale to slowly lower halfway or all the way. Inhale into your cobra pose or upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. And let's again step the feet mat distance apart. Walk the hands back towards the feet. Bring the forearms to the thighs, bend the knees so your heart extends. You can stay here, or the toes can point out, and you come into your Malasana again. So either enjoying, we'll stay here for a while, just like we did before. So if this is uncomfortable, take your cushions underneath your heels. If this doesn't work in your knee joints or your hips, sit on a block on the floor with your feet out. So a pose that honors your body, whatever is going on in your knees and your pelvis, in your ankles. And again, if you feel you have too much of that heavy energy, it might not even be in your physical body, or you might not have the awareness in the physical body, but if you feel that kind of heaviness, then really feel that you can use that to press down to rise. That's it. So again, let's bring that left hand down to the floor, arm to the inside of the left leg, right arm to the sky. So you can imagine that the heart is just stretching out for the fingertips. So you can stay here. I'm going to give options. The other option would be to turn the right thumb down, bend the elbow behind you, take your left arm, again turn the palm down, all the way behind you, and you bind. So you can grab hold of your right wrist with your left hand, or just your fingertips. But again, use this as a way to find openness, find lightness. And then back to the center, palms to your heart, lift through the chest. Wonderful. So let's enjoy on the other side again. Opening up through your heart, extending through the palms of the hands. Knees are extending away from each other. And then again, you can turn the thumbs down, bend the elbows behind you. And then the bind is there, not as a way to collapse, but as a way to open up, to find even more space and lightness. And slowly release back to the center, bringing your palms to your heart. Press firmly down through the feet, and we root down to rise up. And toes can come forward again. Let's just take a moment, hand to heart, hand to the lower belly, to your womb center, your seed center. Maybe the eyes are closed. Maybe you stand still, maybe there's a natural swaying. I think this is such a wonderful hand gesture because you're touching to such important and also sensitive or vulnerable spaces of your body, your womb or your seed center, your heart center, and we want to be rooted and really firmly stable at our pelvis, but we also want to find that lightness and openness for the heart. I think that's a good way to navigate through the experience we call life at the minute. Again, come into Hasta Mudra, palms towards the sky, elbows by your side in a relaxed way. And then again, from our hearts, we can open across the collarbones as the fingers are moving out to the side, all the way onto the sacrum, drawing down through our roots, tailbone to pubic bone, that connection to our Mula Bandha, our root center, our perineum. The heart extends, slowly rising up, but leading with the heart. We can massage all the way down through the legs, coming into a forward bend again. Inhale to come halfway up, and exhale to fold it. And then walk your hands into your downward facing dog again. And again, you can stay here. You can also enjoy a child's pose, maybe the wide-legged child's pose. So your choice, staying where you are. Come into your child's pose, or you can inhale into your plank pose. Lower down on the exhale. Inhaling into your back bend, cobra, upward dog, and downward facing dog. From your downward dog, extend your left leg behind you and step it through with the hands. Turn the back foot flat, this time warrior two pose, so we face towards the side of the mat. So finding that openness through the chest. And once you have that stability, left thigh rotating open, knees and toes pointing forward, left forearm to the left thigh, right arm beyond your ear. So again, finding that extension, pressing the right foot to the earth, extending through your left fingertips. You can stay here, you can have the fingertips on the floor, on a block. You could bind, taking that right arm behind you, left hand underneath, and open up. Release the hands to the floor. Step into your downward dog or child's pose. And again, you can stay where you are, or you can come forward to your plank pose. Lower halfway or all the way. Inhale to a cobra pose or upward dog. Downward facing dog. And so again, everyone, extend that right leg behind you. Step the foot between the hands, back foot flat. We come into that warrior two pose again. And extended side angle, forearm to thigh, left arm beyond your ear. So really find that extension, spaciousness, breath, openness. Hand could come to the earth, or you can choose to bind. Release the hands to the ground, downward dog or a child's pose. Lovely. And so again, you can choose to stay in your downward dog or child's pose, or you come forward into your plank pose, lower down, come into a back bend, and into a downward dog. And so everyone from here will come forward to lie on our abdomen again. So maybe slide forward or through a plank pose, lower down, and we are back in Sphinx pose. So just take a moment just to feel the support of the earth through the legs, through the pelvis, extend through your toes, and then that lengthening in the lower back. So again, you modify, so if you do need more space or less space, you adjust to that. This is too much in your back, exhale, go into pubic bone, feel that support, or you come down. And so one more time, we can this time bend the left leg behind us. Maybe you stay where you are. Maybe you bring the heel towards your buttock or even to the outside of your buttock. But think of the left knee pointing back rather than out. So if you notice that knee pointing out to your left side, see if you can take it back in again. and then release. Lovely. Let's enjoy on the other side. So once you feel you're stable, tailbone down, feel that support for your root. Bend your right leg. Grab hold of the foot. Again, if you feel the hip comes forward or upwards, you take it back down. Again, your variation might just be that you're holding your foot or that your knees just bend, and that's absolutely fine. The advanced variation is that we find a shift, that we have space to let something go. And sometimes that means stepping back. So again, especially those who might be hypermobile, feel the stability before the flexibility. So little steps, maybe just that little movement for the hips, tailbone down, engage some of the muscles to support this openness. And release the leg. Come into your prostration pose, maybe hands under your head or hands into a prayer, and simply breathe. So staying in your prostration pose for a little bit longer, just letting go of any tension in your abdomen. So allow the belly to feel really nice and soft against the floor beneath you. And then you can allow the buttocks to relax and open up. The legs can release, the hips can relax. So really enjoying that way of surrendering and letting go, of offering, of opening up to release. And then when you're ready, you come back to your Sphinx pose one more time. So again, I give options. You might want to stay where you are. You might want to play around just in a smaller variation into Cobra pose to work the stability of your back if that is what you need today. Another variation is to feel that lengthening through the lower back. Bend both knees. If the knees are coming out to the side like that, bring them back in again. So just feel that support again. We are hugging into our center to opening up. So we can bend the knees, both knees, and again, maybe this is perfect for you. Or you can choose to grab hold of your ankles from the inside or the outside. And then from here, lifting your heart as you press your feet away from you. So it is almost like the spine is moving to your front body. And slowly let it go. Release the legs. Shake it out a little bit. And so again, really listening into your lower back. You check in what feels good for you. If it was easy to grab hold of the outside of the ankles, this time maybe grab hold to the inside. So let's play around. If you're ready, bend your knees, grab hold of your ankles. Tailbone to pubic bone, and then allow the feet to lift your hand. And you can roll forward and backwards. And let it go. And so 3 is a lucky number, it's a magic number, so we can enjoy one more time your variation of your back bend. So in your own time, lift through your heart, find that openness, feel you're supported through your roots, and then if you choose to, grab hold of your ankles and rise. And let it go. Again, coming into your prostration pose, releasing the hips, the lower back, and simply breathe. So in a moment we'll come into a spinal twist, and we'll move into the spinal twist through lying on the front. So from the front you can slide your right knee out to the side, so having the right knee probably aligned with your right hip, left arm beyond your hip, and then you simply roll onto your back so your right leg is across. And maybe the knee comes off the floor, maybe your elbow or your right shoulder's off the floor. And that's absolutely fine. You just let your body relax into the shape it wants to be in. But if you have cushions around, you can have cushions underneath your knee, underneath your shoulder, your arm. From here we'll come all the way to the abdomen again. So just rolling around into the abdomen. And then to the other side. So the left leg comes out to the side. And then you can roll around into spinal twist. There's no way, or you don't have to be anywhere. Again, it's just rolling around on the floor, letting your body relax into the shape that works for you. Giving support if you prefer to have cushions or any other support underneath the knees or arms. And you're just breathing. Let's roll all the way onto the front again. And bring the hands next to the chest, coming into a cobra, upward dog, and then downward facing dog or straight to a child's pose. So we will meet in a child's pose, but you can take a moment in a downward dog. You can move through a vinyasa, plank pose, lower down, back bend once or twice.
just in your own rhythm. But once you are ready, we will meet in a child's pose with the knees wide apart. Sit to the heels, the heart or the hip can come to the earth. And slowly come all the way off to sitting. Just finding a comfortable seat. Let's just see. Something just happened in the technology department, but just finding a comfortable seat so you can have your sitting cross-legged, whichever variation just feels wonderful for you. And again, you could rest one hand to your heart, one hand to your womb. And I'm just going to go back into this one. So those of you who are following me on Facebook, you're just staying here. So we'll see what happens on Instagram. So yeah. So Instagram just shut off. So I don't know when it's shut off, but we're meeting in this comfortable seat, sitting on your heels, sitting cross-legged, hands to heart and lower abdomen. Just for a few breaths. And so like we started, we'll bring the soles of the feet together, but this time we are sitting. So we'll take the feet a little bit further away so we have that nice triangular shape. You can sit on blocks or cushions. You want to sit nice and tall, so keeping that sense of being grounded, but being grounded you find lightness. Bring your fingertips behind you again. Feel that openness of your heart, just being open, finding a way to honor your body, honor where we are at this very specific moment in time. And surrendering to a place of tenderness and compassion. So some of us will stay sitting like this, and some of us start to shift to the front of the sitting bones. So almost just like a gentle forward bend. So now you can stay like this, just being on your fingertips. Maybe you have a block or bolster. You can have the head onto your block or bolster. You can have your head into your feet. So we'll stay in whatever variation that just feels perfect for you. But again, in this variation, you're not aiming to bring the head to the feet. You're not aiming to do anything. You're just surrendering. Just allowing the breath to expand and contract, just the flow of the breath, the waves of the breath.
Just stay like that for a few more moments. Just allowing your body to breathe into this shape. Letting go of any restrictions, any holding on in your jaw and your tongue, the throat, the hips, the pelvic floor and the belly, even your fingertips. So you can slowly start to sit all the way up and bring the knees together. So again, just give yourself a nice hug, feeling that support of being hugged by the most beautiful, wonderful person, which is you, hugging another wonderful, beautiful person, which is also you. So taking that moment. We'll just stay here and come into a gentle spinal twist. So just take your right arm behind you, twisting at your hat. And coming back to the center and to the other side. Come back into the middle. And then we'll finally come to relaxation. So I'm going to stay seated, but you can lie down in Shavasana. So if you choose Shavasana, you can lie down, have your feet apart, palms facing up by your side, maybe your hands on your body. If this is uncomfortable, bend your knees. So knees pointing up, feet on the floor, or maybe knees together. So finding any little movement that just feels perfect for you right now. And I'll stay here and I'll just do a little bit of a guided relaxation, a short guided relaxation. So finding your way on the floor. I'm going to put on my jumper. Settling onto your mat, into your relaxation. So really enjoy being on the mat. And feeling that you are completely held by the earth beneath you. So allowing Mother Earth to completely support you. It's almost as if you can feel that support of the earth moving and holding your body. You're completely held, supported. And as you feel that support, then you can release. You can open up to whatever is, and you breathe. As your body starts to open up to this support, you let go of any unnecessary stresses, any unnecessary tensions. Melting away any stress or discomfort. Feeling ease in the crown of the head, the ears. Allow the eyes to relax. The jaw, the tongue, down the neck, shoulders, through the arms and the hands. Allowing the chest to relax. Through the abdomen. Let the belly become soft and at ease. The hips, buttocks, thighs. Experience the knees, the lower legs. Feel the ankles, feet, the soles of the feet, the toes, the whole body, in a relaxed, open, receiving space, being supported and helped, feeling safe and grounded. And so you can stay in this meditation for however long that you like. Or if you want to conclude with me, then just rest your hands on your lower abdomen, on your center of your chest, your energetic heart, your spiritual heart. And again, just take this moment to truly honor your body. Honor your womb or your seed center, at your lower belly, this place of connecting with the earth, being grounded, supported, stable, secure. And then the tenderness and the compassion of the center of your heart, your spiritual heart. The tenderness and compassion to be open. Take a very deep breath in. And sigh out. Again, deep breath in. And sigh out. And then you can start to move the body. Allow your fingers, your toes to move. If you're lying on the floor, you can stretch out, hug the knees to your chest. So we are in this transition again to come up to a comfortable seat. So you are not in a rush. But once you are ready, you just find yourself in a comfortable seat. Feeling that you are grounded. Again, that sense of being supported and being helped from the earth. And then the openness and lightness with the heart. Bring your palms together into Anjali Mudra or prayer position. Maybe close the eyes or just have that inner gaze into the center of your heart. Take this moment of gratitude for your bodies, your breath, the time you take out to nurture yourself, to nourish yourself, so that we may move through these days with an open heart, but being grounded, supported, secure and safe. So we'll conclude with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So Om is this hum, the vibration of the universe that I like to feel. Shanti is peace, peace within, peace in the community, peace in the world. So let's breathe together. Inhale. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me in the virtual world. So thank you so much, and yeah, let me know how you get on with your practice. If this is something that you feel is beneficial and you like to do, then comment in the comment box and share it out to the people you know. And obviously, I'm just doing this on Instagram Live, on Facebook Live, so anyone can watch. I will put a note in. I have a PayPal account, which is my email address, info@yogaembodied.com. But on yogaembodied.com or yogaembodiedonline.com/free yoga, there are donation buttons as well. So obviously, donations are gratefully received at this time where I can't see you in real life. But I'll put that button on the pages as well. So yeah, let me know and share this with anyone that might also benefit. And I'll switch off, I think. But I'll have a look through the comments. So if there are any comments, I'm here in the virtual world. And yeah, namaste. Thank you so much. And in my heart, I was there with you in the studio in Streatham, pretending to have you all around. And on some level, I've felt your energy, because that is what the live classes are so special, because it's a co-creation between everyone who's in the room, and even everyone who's in the room when I'm teaching one-to-one or couples. It's a co-creation, and that is what I love about teaching. But in the virtual world, it somehow still worked. So thank you so much. Thank you for your energy and for being here with me. Namaste. So wonderful to see all you guys. That's so nice. Okay, I'm gonna switch off now.